This isn't my first play on the game. I played it when it very first came out. And I played it for about maybe a month. Like, several weeks. Here and there. Like, for the first week, it was almost every night. But then Sheila got sick with COVID, and one thing led to another, and I didn't log in for a long while. So when this, the latest DLC came out, I decided, you know what, I'm not really quite connected with my island anymore. And this is a good opportunity to start again and to see how things go. Hey, Mithril, how you doing, buddy? Alright, time to clear everything up. We are on Island Clean Patrol. Is there a way to get the camera right behind? I don't know. How are you doing? I'm doing really well. Thank you very much, mate. Having fun now that we can swim across the other island. I have no idea what I'm meant to do with that, though. Because obviously it's not just for swimming to the other island, because you've got the polvo for that. That looks like the island's native flower up there. Can't quite tell what it is from down here, I'm afraid. Is coral still available? Oh, it's still valuable. Sorry, I have no idea. Okay. So many shells must collect. All of them. How often do you plan to stream Animal Crossing going forward? It's really anyone's guess, I suppose. I mean, I do stream a variety of games, so it wouldn't be every night. But as with today, I played RimWorld for much of the night, and after about 6.5 hours, 7 hours, I decided to swap over to this for, like, maybe another 6 hours. Who knows? Sheila has gone for a nap, and I do intend, if she gets up before I'm tired, to send a raid over to her, and she'll be doing much the same as I'm doing right now. You're a longest. And she will be on at the same point, more or less. I think she was a little bit further ahead of me when she wrapped up playing last time as well. But it's been 2 days since then, because I had a bunch of work to do for YouTube. By the way, how many people in chat have seen the Guild of Dungeoneering Ultimate Edition first taste that I posted up on my main YouTube channel? I really do need to get a command in chat that points to my main YouTube channel, not just the Archives one. And the Archives one is probably a little bit more relevant, but I probably should make it easier to find that channel. Me. Yes, loved it. It was a lovely first taste. Oh, I'm so glad. I really enjoyed that game. It felt so nostalgic playing it again. Because, again, that was like one of the first games that I did a first taste on. Back then, I used to do like first taste mini-series. So when I would first taste a game, I would do like one episode a day for a week sort of thing. Maybe more if it was particularly fun. These days, I do much more edited first taste. So not that that one really needed much editing, to be fair. But it's a little bit less time to... hello. Gotcha. But I tend to play the games for a lot longer as well. Like, it's quite often going to be... Oh, I can just kick it. Sort of fill it up with my feet. But yeah, there's a lot. I tend to cover a lot more ground in my videos these days. You know what? I never really noticed how many, like, the fact that there are islands all over there. What are you? Hang on a second. No, put it away. Any chance of us getting a stream of it? Well, I mean, if there's enough interest of it on the channel, there's a good chance you'd get more videos of it. Right, can I dive? I can't! Oh! I got a sea anemone. The enemy of my anemone is my aphronomy, really. Do you pronounce the E? Is it anemone or anemone? The enemy of my anemone is my aphrenome. Anemone. 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 Thank you very much, J2. I always struggle with that one. Anemone. I got a sea anemone. Sorry, anemone. Enemy of my anemone is my aphrenome. There we go. That's a little bit better. No, we're not putting Animal Crossing in the Pungeon. No. It's fine. I'm guessing I don't go any further than that. Than that net, that is. Ooh. Yes! I got an octopus. I can give 4 hugs. It can give 4 hugs at once. Marvelous. Yeah, it's a reference to the enemy of my enemy is my friend. Yeah. No, come back. No. Gotcha. The joke literally works because you pronounce anemone the same way you do enemy. As in, if enemy had an in front of it, yeah. I love how Animal Crossing has a circumference. Look, I've got to find out. No. I am denied. Starfish. Yes, I got a sea star. Maybe it'll give me an autograph. Oh dear. Oh, you can actually swim a little bit faster whilst diving as well. Yes! I got a sea cucumber. It's a bit cumbersome, really. Right. Sea cucumber. Just available now, actually. That was available all the time. As with that one. And the octopus. That does not surprise me. Dive deep. The glittering sea that surrounds our island is home to all kinds of captivating creatures. Put on your wetsuit, dive in the sea, and see what you can collect. Sorry. Dive in and see. Oh, it threw me off so hard what you can collect to earn miles. See what I did there? Nook, you actually hurt my eyes. I did see, and I wish I could unsee, but I cannot. Midsummer Swan. I swear, this game is one of those that... oops. I just got a name request. I'm going to reject that one and refund your name, Calyx Hosh. I should have closed that. Because the way that we use it is... that's basically payment for whomever Nightbot selected randomly to have a name. So I'm sending you back your Dapper Ducats. There you go. And I've paused redemption on that one. But... you can press A while driving. Yeah, okay. Completing all of the backseat passes. Thank you very much for the help, by the way, peeps. This game really does remind me of some punny point-and-click adventure. There are still many creatures we have yet to discover at the bottom of the sea. Earn miles by diving deep, capturing creatures, and filling out your Critterpedia. Yes. One day we will know all that there is to know. So I decided to go off and plot a graph for the expected return of planting bells, which turned out to be pointless, as the equation simplifies to 21,000 minus 0.1x, which means you lose average profit the more you spend. TLDR, 10k is the minimum for the bracket, so plant 10k and no more. Well done, Sweet Orange Bunny. Okay. Hey, it's Ranite. Thank you so much for the 3 months. Third month, second best month. Also, since you paid for them in advance, second month, best month. Oh, how fantastic. Ooh, something new. I got an acorn barnacle. Will it grow into an oak? You see, I actually get the feeling that Noin playing this would become some sort of supervillain. Like, this is basically Noin's power source, puns. And there's so much concentrated punnage going on in this game that it would be like, I don't know, hurling Superman into the heart of an orange star. There's still many creatures, blah, blah, blah. We've just seen this one, actually. But now I got it. A cerulean diver. Nice. We should check on the Critterpedia, too. Wait. Oops. I'm back here. Oh, yes. I got a turban shell. It's totally tubular. That was a push. Animal Crossing, that one was a push. A big push. Oh, my goodness. Hey, wasted space. Hello, mate. Welcome, Raiders. Oh, my lord. The Wire's here, and the Dapplings are all asleep. Ah, that's it. It's doom. The planet is already going to be gone. By the time the Astartes even realize that something's afoot, all members of the Imperium, either slaves, well, actually, the Orcs aren't going to take slaves. They might take some of them as target practice, perhaps. I'm not really sure. Maybe turn some of them into toys. Inflate some of them, kick them around a bit, you know. Keep fit in between wars. How you doing, buddy? Welcome, Raiders. Hello, everyone. You've caught me playing a little bit of Animal Crossing. There we go. What were you playing? You were playing some Project Zomboid. Oh, okay. I was kind of expecting to see Foxhole in there. Peeps, if you're not familiar with Wasted Space, please take a moment to press that, to click on that link there and drop a follow. A fantastic content creator and a good friend of the channel. Absolutely awesome to watch. A brilliant sense of humor. Plays a lot of different games. But of late, has, or at least as far as I've seen when I've been raiding, has been playing quite a lot of Foxhole and indeed Project Zomboid here and there. Dat594. I love when one of my favourite streamers raids another one. Oh, that's very nice of you to say. Guardsmen shout, "Where's the artillery?" Yes. Yeah, pretty much. And, you know, then it arrives on them. He also streams on YouTube. Do you actually? Do you stream on YouTube as well? I haven't caught any of your YouTube streams. I know you, Aavak, from the depths. Ah, yes. Ye oldie from the depthsy. I mean, we're out in the sea at the moment, but it's significantly less torpedo-y and much more trying to catch things at the bottom of the ocean. Well, not necessarily that far down, really. We're just off the shore, so it's not really worthy of at the bottom of the sea, but still, technically. Well deserved, Wasted Space. Well deserved, I assure you. But I hope you had a fantastic stream, mate. We recently restarted our Animal Crossing adventure with the latest DLC. I played it pretty actively when it first came out, but trials and tribulations of real life and the pandemic kind of got in the way, and all of a sudden I hadn't logged in for a very, very long time. And then I continued to not log in for a very long time, until eventually I really decided that I wanted to play it again. But by then, my previous island felt, I don't know, a little disconnected. So Lady Sheilab and I decided that we would start our adventures anew, because the first one was, I just had one Switch, and both Lady Sheilab and I were playing on the same Switch. Both had characters on the same island, but unfortunately with multiplayer, the game kind of the person who makes the island is in the driver's seat, and anyone else is very much a passenger in that experience, which wasn't really what we were looking for. So I'd gotten Lady Sheilab a Switch and Animal Crossing for a Christmas present, and then the DLC came out and it was like, you can have it early if you want. Obviously she said yes. I'm not sure of many people who would say no when offered to get their Switch early, actually. That would take a Herculean amount of self-control. Oh. Thank heavens I just upgraded my inventory space, my lord. A few too many games do that sort of almost co-op, which is a shame, honestly. If you're going to make the effort, might as well go for it. Yeah, no, exactly. Exactly. I mean, there was a whole hoo-ha about the fact that a single Switch could only have a single island of Animal Crossing anyway. But I kind of knew that was coming. Whether or not it's right, I'm used to it with Animal Crossing. Like, it wasn't something I wasn't expecting to happen. But very much the whole thing of, you can have multiple people on the island, and the island progresses, and so on and so forth. I was blindsided with the fact that it was almost co-op. That was quite disappointing. But now she's running her own island, and obviously for her, it'll be a brand new island. And when I ramp this up in a couple of hours, probably, we will be raiding her and following along with her adventures as well. Oh my lord, it's already been 8.5 hours that I've been streaming. Doesn't feel like I even started, really. Feels like just a few seconds ago. I was playing a bit of RimWorld earlier. Are you still playing much RimWorld, Wasted? I'm having fun exploring the fluid ideology at the moment. Insomniac Orc Straggler Raider. Lady of Distrust. I love the idea of the whole war is just swept over a planet. There's just one orc just running and kind of before coffee face, just kind of struggling to juggle their like 8 different guns, just trying to keep up. That is absolutely hilarious in my mind. Sweet, I learned a DIY recipe of a mush partition? That sounds very peculiar. Very peculiar indeed, actually. Let's find out what that is. Okay. It's a 2x1. Very well. Oh, it's a... I mean... Oh, right. Sorry. I was looking at the item up there. I was like, oh, is it a storage item? Like, can you... I was trying to work out why it had an image of a cupboard, but clearly the image of the cupboard is that it's freestanding. It's a standing bit of furniture. Whereas the wooden table mirror is a cup, which means it can stand on top of other furniture, or on the floor, of course. Scalacqua, I hope I pronounced your name correctly. Thank you very much for the 5 months. Diolch yn fawr iawn. Boom, Manruto. There's a lot of funny mental images when it comes to wasted warband. Fair. Oh god, you could tell an orc caffeine gave them superpowers and it would work twice over. Yeah, you could tell. You could say a lot of things to orcs. One of the funniest examples of that that I remember is the... I forget where it was from. It was one of the novels, I think it was. Where the guardsmen ran out of bullets. And the orcs were still advancing on them. So they just pointed their guns at the orcs and just started yelling, Daka, Daka, Daka. Because an orc believes that's the sound that a gun makes, their effect on the psychic field made the guns really shooting them. So they were just dying because they thought they were being shot, because they thought that was the sound the guns would be making while they were firing. It's like, orcs. Quite possibly one of the most awesome races in Warhammer 40k to read about. The stories are just hilarious. They're so good. So good. Mind you, they've gone through so many retcons as well. I've still got some really old White Dwarf issues, and then when you compare like stories about them from the really, really old ones, like I handed down to from my cousin and stuff like that, to some of the more modern ones, the various iterations that the codexes have gone through, it's like, wow, it just really feels like someone started writing about the orcs and like defining their backstory and just never finished. They just kept writing about them. And if something they wrote in the future changed something they'd written, it's just fine, just keep going. It's fine. It'll eventually settle, I'm sure. Right, Blathers, I've got many things to donate, I hope. Yeah, orcs are just silly fun. They're amazing. All right, yeah, everything. Perfect. I'm still wearing my wetsuit. Hooty-hoo! This must be an octopus! Such a sea creatures are a delight to behold. As with any fish or bugs you find, I will be happy to care for it. Now, might I interest you in a few fascinating facts about your octopus? By all means. Wonderful, I would love nothing more. With its 8 limbs, 3 hearts... actually, it has 3 hearts, I didn't know that. And surprisingly big brain, the octopus is quite the wonder. It is also an escape artist like no other. Now, this part, I've heard all sorts of stories about, but I didn't know they had 3 hearts. That's actually pretty cool. So, question for you, sir. I know nothing about this game outside of social media hype on releasing and the platform. What's the draw? Oh, right, yeah, sure. I do apologize. You know, I swear I can be professional sometimes. Animal Crossing. We actually were talking about this just before the raid, as it happens. Someone asked, well, is there like an end game? And so we started talking through it. And I'm not even sure that this would necessarily be classed as a game by like rigid standards. Many games are defined by having a set start and a set end and rules that would get you from the start to the end of the game. And then you've got sandboxes, which are much more nebulous in that area. This is very much a sandbox. There are lots of things that you can do, lots of things to give your gameplay purpose. The island progresses through a kind of semi-story, and which kind of hybridized with just time passing and certain things that you achieve. And the island becomes more and more expansive and more alive with different residents and also activities. There's a plethora of holiday and seasonal events that take place. There's a massive list of items in the game. It's very Sims-like in that way. There's just an enormous catalogue of items that might exist. But with this, many of them you discover over time, or they just happen to be in a shop. You have much less easy access to them all. And so they're a bit collectible in that regard. And indeed, collectibles are a big thing. For example, here I'm talking with Blathers, who will eventually build a museum here rather than just having a little explorer's tent. And you will collect fossils, insects, sea creatures, fish. I think there may be more things you can collect besides. And then you slowly fill out the museum. And that's one of the big things, because every day you're going around and certain things will only be available in certain weather conditions, certain times of day, certain seasons. It matches your real time. And you can change that around a little bit as well, in that you can time travel. Or you can select an island that's on a different hemisphere from you. So, for example, if you're a bit of a night owl and you're always going to be up, then the game would always be at night. And some of the shops are closed outside of, sociable hours. So you might find that very hard to meet certain things. So if the only time you were ever going to play, because obviously the Switch is quite mobile, maybe, I don't know, you're a trucker and you decide, when I'm drifting off at a rest stop, that's exactly the thing I need to just chill me out. It's a little bit of Animal Crossing. I'm not going to judge. Then you might set your island to for us, the southern hemisphere, so it would be the opposite time of day. So you'd have some activity in the daytime. But yeah, it is hard to really define it as a game. It is a gloriously expansive sandbox, I would say. But there are other things as well. There's a lot of, as much as the kind of almost co-op I was talking about earlier, it was a bit of a drag. There is an extensive amount of multiplayer baked into the game. In fact, for example, this island has a native species, like a primary species of fruit. In my case, it's cherries. And a native species of flower. It is kind of expected that while you can get other instances of fruit and then plant them and then have those fruit trees appear on your island and indeed get other types of flowers here and there, it's quite laborious to try and gather them randomly from drops just within the game. But you can go to other mystery islands, which might be in different time zones or different hemispheres. And that's within the game. You just basically go to a small randomly generated island. It might have different stuff there. Might have different characters there that you could then encourage to come and live on your island, and you'd gain a new resident. But additionally, you can go to a friend's island. And that is a big, big part of this. This probably I would actually go as far as to say, of all of the community games I've played with the Dapplings, this has been the most... This one's had the most staying power. From back in 2020, early 2020, when this came out, I've had a chat channel on Discord that has been active the whole time. People are regularly going in and they're saying, oh, this wandering merchant has come to my island. Here's my dodo code, which is kind of like your code for flying to their island. and I'm going to leave my Switch on. I'm going to go to bed. So, feel free to pop in if you want to buy things from there. Like, for example, Sahara, who sells rugs and wall coverings, or Stella, which is a bit more of a specialist character. And people will pop over, but also they'll gather fruit. So, for example, I've got cherries on my island. I might go to another person's island who's got peaches, and I'd bring a peach back, and then I'd plant a peach, and then I'd have peach trees growing on my island, and I could harvest peaches. And what a nice kind of aspect of it that I quite liked is that a fruit or a flower that's not native to your island sells for more. So it actually gives you a reason to socialize. Also, the shops have a random inventory of items you can buy each day. Again, that's why it's kind of got a collectibles about it, rather than The Sims, where you kind of just have access to everything. The only thing holding you back is the money. People might be like, I've got this really lovely item available today in my shop, so if anyone wants to pop over, you can come over. But likewise, if you've actually met them in-game, you can send them mail. So it might be a case of, in fact, when I first got it, and again, yeah, it's a super, super chill game, Wasted. When I first had it, like, there were various little bits and bobs, and I was playing it, fresh at launch, so a lot of people hadn't had an opportunity to get many, like, themed items together. And so if something would show up in my shops, some of the dapplings would say, oh, I'd love that. Could you mail it to me? So I would just buy it and mail it along to them, and then they would send something back, or send bells, or not at all. And, it was, in many cases, like, it's fine. I can just send this over to you. And I love that about it. It's a very community-feeling game. Corey Glazias, is that? Glazialis. Sorry. Hey, Aavak and chat. Hope you're all enjoying Animal Crossing. I am. I'm really enjoying jumping back in and actually starting over again. Yeah, it sounds like a starting box with strong rewards for investment. Got things to aim for, things that will come along randomly too. Yeah, very much so. There's a lot of random events. There's a lot of just... Another one is KK Slider. A little musician that'll show up in the town of I think it's a Friday or a Saturday. And once you've got Brewster's Cafe, quite often be in Brewster's Cafe, or at least he was in previous iterations of the game, because there's been lots of Animal Crossings on the various other, Nintendo consoles in various iterations. But a lot of people will just hang out in the cafe when KK is there, just it's a dog playing a guitar, and it's actually incredibly cathartic just to hang out with a couple of friends in that space, and you can buy whatever song he's playing, and then you've got that, and you can put it on your radio. It's a really, really chill game. It's fantastic. I can't think of many other games that have the same qualities as Animal Crossing. Take care, Road Train. Have a good lurk, buddy. You see, the octopus has specialized skin cells that change color and texture with lightning speed. Thus, it can look for all the world like a patch of seabed 1 minute and a pile of rocks the next. But the deception doesn't stop there, what? When attacked by a predator, the octopus releases a cloud of ink and poof, makes its escape. Let's just call the octopus what it is, shall we? The ninja of the deep. Also, this game, I will give one warning. Should you ever pick this up, Wasted, if you are sensitive to puns, as I am, this game is your kryptonite. There are so many puns in this game. Every time you find a collectible of any type, there is a pun attached to it. It is glorious and painful all at once. I don't apologize for the distraction, I'm sure. Like I said, we were just having a little bit of a chat about it before you dropped in. Everything is a pun, yes. This game is a pungeon. That is absolutely true, Wanderlost. But how was your Project Zomboid run going, dude? Are you playing are you returning to a character, or did you start a fresh run? Bravo, and thank you. Once the museum is complete, it shall be displayed with utmost dignity. Thing I love about Blathers, it's an owl that hates bugs. He has a... But so dutiful in delivering information about bugs. I'll see if I can find one that I haven't already given him so I can go through the chat that comes from that. By the by, I wonder if you have anything else that could be donated. I do believe I do. Marvellous. What would you like to donate? No. No, I don't think I've got anything that'll count. I'll see if I can find one out and about. Hey, Steel Sharkin, how you doing? Woohoo! Why, this is a sea anemone. Now, might I interest you in a few fascinating facts about your... Chad, I am really trying to wrap my brain around how to say this word. It is not coming easily to me. Sea anemone. I think I got it right. Anemone. Coming back to an old modded save. Oh, cool mod. Been doing a kill challenge of late, kinda in prep for the madness that will be multiplayer. But I had an old character using a bunch of gun mods, kind of fun. So I went back to him and sailed off my starting island to adventures anew. Marvellous. Wonderful. I would love nothing more. Medusa herself would be most impressed by the sea. God damn it. Sea anemone. This pretty predator loves to wave its colourful flowing locks about. But those gorgeous tresses are, in fact, deadly tentacles surrounding a hungry mouth. Triggered by the slightest touch, these tentacles harpoon victims with neurotoxin. The sea anemone, I will defeat you, word. Mark my words. You will fall as all others have. Then pulls the helpless, hapless prey into its mouth for a spot of lunch. I say, let this be a lesson. Never, ever, ever make an enemy. Oh, no, come on, Blathers. That look. Why, Blathers? Why have you joined them? And there you have it. Fascinating stuff, no? You look so happy with yourself. Bravo, and thank you. Once the museum is complete, it shall be displayed with utmost dignity. I wonder how many I've given to Blathers by now. Well, I have got a turban shell. Woohoo! This is undoubtedly a turban shell. Now, might I interest you in a few fascinating facts about your turban shell? Yes, you may. Wonderful, I would love nothing more. The turban shell is a sea snail with a rather nifty trick up its sleeve. Shell. You see, this snail carries a hard, round button-like operculum with it wherever it goes. What is an operculum, you ask? Why, it is a trapdoor of sorts. When danger approaches, the snail slips into its shell and pulls this trapdoor closed over the opening. Thus, it is locked safe and sound inside. And bravo, I say, bravo! When trouble comes knocking, just do what the turban shell does. Shut the door and turn out the lights. And there you have it. Fascinating stuff. I mean, legitimately, I am learning facts about creatures I would never have known. And that by itself is actually kind of impressive and worthy of note. This must be an acorn barnacle. You may entertain me with some fascinating facts. Wonderful. Do not mistake the acorn barnacle for a relative of the clam. Tut tut, mollusks they are not. Barnacles are cousins to crabs and lobsters, you see, though the family resemblance is hard to spot. Acorn barnacles may also seem to live a stationary life, what with being attached to rocks and such. But, truth be told, baby barnacles are avid travellers, drifting shellless about the sea before settling down. Once they find a good rock to affix themselves to, they float free no more. Which begs the question, do adult acorn barnacles ever look out across the open sea and long for youthful adventure once more? Wow. Blathers, I am not ready for these feels. You've got to give me warning. Dear God, man. Once the museum is complete, it shall be displayed with utmost dignity. I do have more to donate. I got many things. I went swimming for a while, you see. Hello, DCBVE. I'm not even going to try to say your name. But hello. That's a lie. The Welsh in me has to rise to the challenge. This must be a sea cucumber. Now, might I interest you in a few fascinating facts about your sea cucumber? Just say the letters, lol. Thank you. The sea cucumber, much like its relatives, the sea urchin and sea star, has no heart, nor brain. However, unlike its relatives, it has no shell nor spikes with which to protect itself either. So, how does a softie such as this stay safe in the open ocean? Brace yourself, I say. When threatened, sea cucumbers jettison their innards out of their backsides. Ooh, gross but true. The sticky, stringy stuff ensnares predators, allowing the cuke to make its escape and grow its insides back. One might say the sea cucumber is a gutsy... Oh my God. Is it possible to be allergic to puns? I think I am. Why, Blathers? And once again, you're so happy with that. Hoo hoo, hee hee. Do forgive me. No forgiveness. And there you have it. Fascinating stuff, no? I would like to donate the last thing that I have for now. Ooh, this is undoubtedly a sea star. Now, might I interest you in a few fascinating facts about your sea star, since we just talked about the sea cucumber? Yes, you may. The sea star may appear to have 5 feet, but those are, in fact, its arms. And though 5-armed sea stars are the most common, there are species with 20 or even... Wow, okay, that is legitimately a fact I did not know. Or even suspect. But the fascinating appendage facts do not end there. What? You see, upon each sea star's arm sprout many dozens of tiny feet. Yes, feet! They use these suction-cupped feet not just to move about, but to grab hold of dinner guests as well. Finally, it should be noted that when a sea star loses an arm, it can grow it back. More impressive yet, a severed sea star arm can sometimes grow an entire sea star body back. And there you have it. Fascinating stuff, no? Terrifyingly fascinating, actually. Bravo, and thank you. Once the museum is complete, it shall be displayed with utmost dignity. What is backseating? If you're a driver yourself, or you're just a forever passenger, backseating is when someone in the backseat of the car is trying to tell the driver how to drive. Which, to be perfectly honest, sometimes is warranted. Especially if the person in the backseat has the map. And, for some reason you don't have GPS or a phone. Nevertheless, that's where backseating comes from. In terms of gameplay, it is a viewers trying to take over or to tell the player, the streamer, what they should be doing, rather than letting them play the game and enjoying just watching it. Now, I do have the backseating allowed tag on, which means you can. There is a caveat, however. To do so, backseating pass. You earn channel points just by watching, so you eventually, just by having been here for a while, you accrue channel points. Quite a lot of streamers take quite an ill view of backseating, and certainly sometimes it is warranted, especially if the backseating is like spoilery, like they're playing an RPG and someone's like, oh, well, you should do this, this, and this, so they'll give you the best ending. And it's like, well, I would have liked to have found that out myself, actually. That's the whole point of me playing the game. But I'm usually a lot more accepting of backseats, but, you know, use your channel points. That way, there's a cost to it. So you really have to want to do it. Like, it has to matter to you to use that backseat. And if you're willing to put some money on the table, again, it's fake money, so it doesn't actually cost you anything, then I'm willing to hear you out. If you do it without the backseat pass, I can't watch my mods all the time, you see, and sometimes they might just grab you by the ankles and throw you in an oubliette. You'll eventually be let out when they forget you were there.